I'm living in one now. Hayes, a good guy. Old man by the name of Peter. He died a lonely, sad death. The landlord I rent from told me his story. He had a wife. She died from suicide. Had 2 kids, a boy and a girl. The boy went off to Iraq, died in the war. His daughter died from a drug overdose. He haunts this house, harmless, but Hayes mischievous at times. He loves my dog Odie. He and Odie play around from time to time. In watching TV, Odie in the chair with me. Odie's ball will roll by. Odie will jump out of the chair and chase it. I live alone, BTW. Sometimes it'll catch Odie standing in front of the closet, ball in mouth, wagging his tail. The closet is where they found his body. He had a heart attack. Peter and I have an understanding, and I respect it. As long as I don't bring green dishes in the house, they don't get broke. LOL. Don't ask me why. But he doesn't like green dishes, cups, pots, or pans, etc. I got a green dinnerware set for Christmas once. Had them nicely placed in the cupboard. Came home one day, they were all on the kitchen floor broken. Shrugged. I had purchased a small green crock pot. Odie and I are asleep one night, and I hear a crash. We run into the kitchen, crock pot on the floor. Odie runs back to the closet, stands there, with his ball, wagging his tail. No more green dishes, no more breaking incidents, since
I really don't know where to really start. So I decided the beginning is always good, LOL. My childhood home was built over the old homestead of my great-grandparents, and we eventually added onto the home DUAL, shaped addition, and that's when things started. Our 2 dogs refused to go into the addition, which happened to be mine and my 2 siblings' BDRMs. They would bite you. Hair would stand up on their backs, if you even tried to carry them back there. A black figure, red eyes would be seen repeatedly. My older brother put an arrow through the wall trying to shoot the figure. Our CD players were thrown away. BC of the deep voice that would talk to you through it at night, by name. My brother would wake me and tell me half asleep the red eye thing. Wouldn't let him sleep, so he slept in my floor. My entire childhood. My dad would sleep on the couch until everyone was home, BC. He swears something would sit down on the bed and then lay down beside him. The dryer would turn on repeatedly even if you unplugged it. Cooking in the kitchen, you would get bruises on the top of her feet, like SO was stepping on them. This is just a generic run-through of some of our experiences in the home. If anyone would like more in-depth posts, just let me know. Sorry I'm shit at telling our story, but we'll try to do better. Not gonna lie, just thinking some of the experiences makes me realize exactly how crazy it was to actually live it, even though it seemed normal to us back then.
From a recent incident at my family's ancestral house, dated back to the 1850s, I've learned that some things don't like it when you destroy part of their property without proper permissions or gifts. I have so many stories as a little kid from that house, and from my current house to house is my grandparents, and was up since the 70s. Just this November, my mum, sister, and some workers went to our fam's old house to clear up the overgrown garden. There is this really twisted old fruit tree out front, where as a kid of maybe 3 or 4, I'd give candy to anyone. I was there to visit. My folks and the locals who worked for the fam brushed it off as just me being nice to the local being living in the tree. My mum had parts of the overgrown branches that were close to breaking through the roof chopped off. Some she did by herself. 2 days later, she gets all itchy, but we have dust allergies and we've spent days cleaning a dusty old house, so she thinks nothing of it and takes her regular allergy pills. The itching fades, but only for the day, and it comes back worse. It's spread to her face and neck to the point she's getting tiny cracks on the skin of her lips and even eyelids. Doctors suggested a stronger antihistamine. Works for longer, but only for the night when she sleeps. This weird rash went on throughout December. Then a friend suggested we burn a mixture of 2 kinds of tree resin, typically used for incense and local cleansing rituals. After about 2 days of walking in and out of its smoke, the rash has cleared up. As a gift, we went back to the house and I was asked to give the tree an egg, some sweets, and to apologize for the cut branches, and we've been okay since. Mom still burns the resin every other day though, just in case.
In 2012, my stepfather overdosed on H and dropped dead in the hallway in his condo apartment. My mom had to move out shortly after since they were already behind on mortgage bills. A few months later, my lease went up and I was barely making ends meet and couldn't find a new roommate. My mom offered me the key to the condo apartment to squat for a few months until I saved up enough for my own apartment. I took the offer and moved into the condo apartment. After a month or so, I was asleep in the living room and I had this dream of him standing in the hallway facing the living room. He was looking at me and smiling, laughing. Even made a stupid joke and everything. It wasn't disturbing at all, just bittersweet. Then I suddenly woke when I felt some pressure stroking down my head and back. There was nothing around me and it tripped me the hell out. As a skeptical person that doesn't believe in the paranormal, it has to be some kind of sensory hallucination. It was still nice to see him in my dream once again, though. Made me tear up typing this. Repeateren. Mildly interesting fact. He dropped dead on July 13th in 2012, on a Friday, the 13th.
Moved from the US to the UK, and our parents bought an old beat-up house. It still had lead pipes for the water. Nightmare all on its own. Anyway, work proceeded on the house whilst we lived there. We started seeing bright lights in the corners of rooms at night. Footsteps on floorboards. The house had carpet. I was about 6 at the time and started getting woken up in the night by a little girl who would dance on my chest of drawers for me. I was frickin' terrified. My mum just fobbed it off as me dreaming. Workmen complained of strange things happening, like tools being moved and odd feeling like being watched. After about a year of this, my eldest sister's friend stayed overnight. She woke the whole house up screaming, saying a little girl had been in her room. She had apparently pulled her from the bed. The friend left the house and refused to ever come back. Mum decided she might need to do something about it and got some advice. He suggested my mum and the whole family should treat the presences as part of the family. So when we got home, we shout, "Hi, we're home. Did you have a good day?" Over time, the house settled and we didn't get any more trouble. We also found out a little girl did die in the house of asthma. My parents still live there, and it is a beautiful, homely place now.
My uncle's house out on a very eastern part of NY was said to be haunted due to the family that used to own it in the 1800s, decided not to give it to the stableman, and sold it instead. He and the maid were said to have haunted the place. We always used to joke that you would hear people, or things, moving at night, but since the house is so old, we used to just laugh it off. My uncle's friend had her and her sister stay over the house one night, and the friend noticed a maid bringing towels down the stairs when she woke. She saw the maid again, bringing what looked like a percolator down the stairs. She was so impressed by my uncle hiring staff. He is a neurologist in NYC, so he had a habit of spending a little bit extra. She went back to bed and woke up later downstairs to see my uncle and his friend just chatting. She asked where the maid went, and she thought that the maid was cooking breakfast. My uncle had no idea what she was talking about and asked what she looked like. The sister explained and he laughed, walked her to the living room and pointed to an old picture. She said that was the woman. My uncle replied, "Yea, she has been dead for about 100 years.